JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Unidentified man killed by police in Spanish Town. An unidentified man was reportedly shot and killed during a confrontation with a police team in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, on Thursday. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has since launched a probe into the matter. According to reports, about 3:50 p.m., police personnel from the St. Catherine North Specialized Operation Team were patrolling Spanish Town when information led them to Prince Avenue. Upon their arrival at a boardhouse, a man was reportedly observed with a gun. The man allegedly pointed the weapon at the police and fired several shots. The police say they took evasive action and returned the fire, and the man was shot and injured. A Glock pistol affixed with a magazine loaded with 2 rounds of 9mm cartridges was reportedly seized from him. The man was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Retiree stabbed to death in Trelawny. The Trelawny police are investigating a second fatal stabbing in the parish within 2 weeks. Following the killing of a man in his community Thursday morning, the deceased has been identified as 60-year-old Simon Blancard, a resident of Retreat Heights. According to reports, Blancard was attacked near his gate by unknown assailants who stabbed him. He was rushed to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His killing comes less than 2 weeks after the fatal stabbing of 34-year-old taxi operator Stephen Morris of Duncan's Hill. Morris was killed on Friday, June 13, during an altercation with a passenger, which escalated and turned deadly. Investigations into both incidents are ongoing. Opposition rejects explanation given for spiking neonatal deaths at Victoria Jubilee. Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has rejected the Southeast Regional Health Authority's explanation that prematurity was the cause of increased neonatal deaths at Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston since June 1. Following reports that 24 newborns have died at the hospital this month, the authority, which oversees the hospital, said data collection indicates that the majority of the affected babies were born prematurely with significant factors that could have predisposed to serious illness. In a media release on Friday morning, Dawes said the explanation was unacceptable as prematurity is a medical condition, not a cause of death.
The Southeast Regional Health Authority has confirmed that 24 babies died at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in the first 24 days of June. Reports indicate that 229 neonatal deaths at the hospital between October 2023 and 2025. The Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, must confirm whether these figures are accurate and release the full mortality data from 2020 to the present. The explanation given that prematurity is the cause of these deaths is unacceptable. Prematurity is a medical condition, not a cause of death. This points to a deeper systemic failure in the care for newborns. Victoria Jubilee continues to suffer from overcrowding, understaffing, and outdated infrastructure. There's a chronic lack of essential resources, including cooling blankets, ventilators, and proper parenteral nutrition for neonates. These deficiencies, combined with inadequate staffing, compromise the hospital's ability to manage high-risk pregnancies and provide life-saving neonatal care. Jamaica's maternal mortality rate is now higher than it was 30 years ago. Combined with a spike in neonatal deaths, this reflects a public health system in crisis. Dr. Tufton must answer the following. How many neonatal deaths have occurred at VJH annually over the past 5 years? What has been done to improve these outcomes? What budget allocation was made to neonatal care? Was there a breakdown in infection control? And importantly, why was the public not informed sooner? Jamaicans deserve transparency and accountability. These were not statistics. These were children.
Education Ministry orders audit of St. Francis Primary and Infant Schools path records. The Ministry of Education has ordered a full audit of St. Francis Primary and Infant Schools path account records to determine how funds have been used and whether there has been any breach of financial regulations. The audit was ordered following significant discrepancies in the management and use of Program of Advancement through Health and Education path funds. According to preliminary findings, the school has been charging the path account $650 per meal for students on the program. This is well above the prescribed rate of $150 for students in grades 1 to 3 and the $200 for students in grades 4 to 6. This practice has resulted in the rapid depletion of allocated part funds, severely limiting the number of days hot meals can be provided to students. The review of the records also revealed that only 100 students are being fed. Permanent Secretary Dr. Caston Troop said the ministry not tolerating action that compromises the well-being of the country's most vulnerable students. Dr. Troop says the ministry has provided $4.6 million to provide lunch for 154 students on path for 190 school days. She reiterated that the lunch is not to be priced with a profit margin, as in addition to the grants, the ministry covers the cost of the cooks, maintenance, and utilities. Dr. Troop said the ministry has also advised schools that with their challenges, they need to report same and not shift the cost to parents. She said the ministry has not received any requests from St. Francis Primary and Infant School for additional support for nutritional needs. Man charged with murder of UTech student Anissa Dilworth, the in-drive taxi operator, was arrested in connection with the kidnapping of University of Technology student Anissa Dilworth, has been charged with her murder. The Portmore CIB on Wednesday charged 29-year-old Jamar Grant of Bull Bay, St. Andrew, with the offenses of murder and kidnapping. The charges were laid after DNA test results confirmed that remains found near the Fort Clarence Beach on May 17 were those of the missing student. Anissa was reported missing on May 7, reported after boarding an in-drive taxi. But the ride-sharing company said its records showed that her last ride using the app was in 2024 and the accused driver's account was created afterward. InDrive said based on the available data, there is no record indicating that the incident occurred during a trip arranged through the platform. Senate observes moment of silence for babies that died at Victoria Jubilee. The Senate this morning observed a moment of silence in remembrance of reported 24 babies who died at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston in recent weeks. Opposition Senator Lambert Brown requested the observance, as he also paid his respect to more than 200 babies he said have died at the hospital since 2023.
People have spoken all of us behalf, but instead of your side. We also join in the moments of grief for our brother Floyd Morris, and may I invite you, President. A couple of weeks ago we had a minute silent for the tragic fire, victim of tragic fire in Damrep. But where I'm sitting today, I'm hearing reports of the tragic death of scores of babies at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. And maybe I invite us as a Senate to stand in a minute silence in honor of those children who have died, and in expressing condolences to the mothers, families of nearly 200 children who have died at Victoria Jubilee Hospital in the last 2 or so years. And I'd invite us, through you, to stand in a minute of silence on behalf of the children. Oh, precious, it's the greatest gift, the minister said, the Minister of Health has said, to the world, and we should acknowledge their passing. If we choose Jamaica, let us choose Jamaican children who have died in such situation in the same way we chose to pay respect to the dead. 113 then in Damrep, and I invite my side and the other side and you to have a moment silence in their, a minute silence in their honor.
Well, before I stand.
Sorry?
Because the report was publicized in relation to the unfortunate passing of some newborn at the Victoria Jubilee, and the expression was made that the situation, as to what would have caused the situation, not one that relates to any intrusion of, let us say, bacteria or otherwise, but would appear to be more of natural causes. And the investigation in relation to the situation would continue. But I agree with you on the loss of life of a newborn, that it is obviously something that would be depressing to any mother, any family. And the Senate, I do believe all members would agree that we should give a moment of silence in that regard. And I just ask for the members of the Senate to stand and to, in a moment of silence. Thank you very much.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.